The red alert siren blared across United Earth Defense Station Orion. Admiral Frank Morris rushed to the command center, his boots echoing on the metal floor. Workers moved quickly around him, but no one looked scared. "What's happening?" Frank asked as he entered the main room. Lieutenant Grace Adams handed him a glowing tablet. "Sir, we just got this message. You need to see it." Frank looked at the screen. A strange alien face stared back at him. The creature had blue scales, 4 eyes, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Behind it, a fancy golden symbol shone brightly. "I am Supreme Leader Vex of the mighty Criteri Empire," the alien said in a deep voice. "For too long, humans have disrespected our space. Today, we declare war on Earth and all human colonies. Surrender now or face total destruction." Frank looked at the message, then started to smile. Around him, other officers were trying not to laugh. "Sir, should we raise the defense shields?" asked Sam, a young communications officer. Frank shook his head. "No need. Call Admiral Winters and find Joe Clark. He's our alien expert who knows about these Criteri." 1 hour later, all the top military leaders sat around a large table. The mood was relaxed, with some officers even drinking coffee. Admiral Kate Winters played the war message again. "So, these aliens who haven't left their own star system in 300 years want to fight us, while we have colonies on 17 different planets." Joe Clark, a tall man with glasses, stood up. "The Criteri think they should rule the galaxy. Long ago, they controlled many planets, but they had a big war among themselves and lost everything except their homeworld." "How good are their weapons?" asked General Pete Scott, leader of Earth's soldiers. Joe showed some simple charts on the big screen. "Their ships are about 150 years behind ours. They have laser guns and weak shields. Their fastest ships can only travel 2 or 3 light years each day." "And our ships?" Kate asked. 25 light years per day," Frank answered. The room went quiet. Then Pete started laughing. "Let me make sure I understand," Pete said, wiping his eyes. "These aliens who are stuck in one solar system, with technology that looks like toys compared to ours, just declared war on the most advanced species in this part of space." "That's right," Joe nodded. Kate stood up. "Send some diplomats to talk to them. I want to know why they're doing this. Also, send a small group of ships, just in case. But nothing big. I don't want to scare them too much." As everyone left, Frank walked beside Kate. "Remember the Vorax aliens who attacked us 50 years ago? They thought we were weak too. Now they don't exist anymore." "I know," Kate said softly. "That's why we're trying to talk first. I hope these Criteri are smarter than the Vorax were." Captain Olivia Grant stood on the bridge of her ship, the Washington. Through the big window, she watched the alien ship come closer. The Criteri ship looked fancy, with curved sides and shiny decorations, but it was much smaller than her ship. "They're calling us, Captain," said Doug, the communications officer. "Put them on screen," Olivia ordered, standing up straight. The screen lit up, showing an alien that looked like a mix between a lizard and a bug. It had blue-green skin that shined in the light, and 4 big eyes. "I am High Commander Zrek of the Criteri Empire," the alien said in good English. "You have entered our space. We will destroy your ship." Olivia stayed calm. "High Commander, I am Captain Olivia Grant from Earth. We came to talk about your war message. We want peace, not fighting." The alien made a clicking sound that their computers said was laughter. "Humans cannot tell us what to do. We have studied your kind. You are weak. Your bodies break easily. Your lives are short. You should just give up." Next to Olivia, Natalie, the diplomat, whispered, "They clearly have never seen humans fight." Olivia nodded before speaking to the alien again. "High Commander, I ask for a face-to-face meeting. We can come to your ship, or you can come to ours." The alien stood up straighter. "You want to surrender in person. Good. You may come to our ship." The screen went black. "They think we're coming to give up," said Doug, surprised. Olivia turned to her security chief, Alan. "Get a team ready. Bring standard weapons. We don't want to fight, but we need to be safe." "Are you sure this is a good idea, Captain?" Alan asked, touching the gun on his belt. "They clearly don't know much about humans," Olivia replied. "Maybe seeing us in person will help them understand the truth before things get worse." An hour later, Olivia led a small team onto the alien ship. Inside, the walls were covered in pictures that looked like they told stories of the alien past. The humans were taken to a big room where Commander Zrek waited with other aliens. The commander looked very proud. "You stand in the heart of Kriteri power," Zrek announced. "Are you ready to beg for mercy for all humans?" Olivia stepped forward calmly. "High Commander, there seems to be a mistake. We are not here to surrender. We are here to understand why you declared war and to find a peaceful solution." The room filled with clicking sounds as the aliens laughed. "You still don't understand," Zrek said. "Let me show you something." The alien waved his hand, and a picture appeared in the air, showing some kind of weapon. "This is the Star Destroyer. It can blow up a whole planet. We have aimed it at your Earth. If you don't surrender now, we will turn your home into dust." Natalie, who had been studying the weapon picture, caught Olivia's eye and shook her head slightly. The weapon looked real in theory, but would need more power than the aliens could possibly have. Olivia stayed diplomatic. "That would be very bad, High Commander. Before you decide, maybe you should learn what human military forces can really do." She nodded to Natalie, who showed her own pictures in the air. These showed human ships from the last alien war, destroying enemy ships that outnumbered them 10-1. "This video is from 50 years ago," Olivia explained calmly. "Our ships are much better now." For the first time, the alien commander looked uncertain. Back on her ship, Captain Olivia called a meeting with her top officers to talk about what they had learned. "From what we can tell," Natalie said, "the Kriteri Empire was once very powerful, about 1,000 years ago. They'd been getting weaker ever since, but they still think they're as strong as they used to be." Jack, the science officer, nodded. "Their technology is good for aliens who have been alone for so long, but they don't know what's really happening in the galaxy." "Do they really think they can beat all of humanity?" Olivia asked. Commander Joe, who knew the most about the Kriteri, cleared his throat. "This is where it gets really interesting. After talking to some of their lower-ranking officers, I learned that they found human TV shows and movies." "TV shows?" Olivia asked, confused. "Yes. Specifically, old action movies about Earth's wars and science fiction movies about alien invasions. They think these movies are real history." Everyone in the room went silent, surprised. "Are you telling me," Olivia said slowly, "that the Kriteri declared war on humanity because they watched movies like Independence Day and thought we'd be easy to defeat?" "Yes, that's exactly it," Joe confirmed. "They caught our TV signals, but they couldn't tell the difference between fiction and real life. They saw humans being beaten by fake aliens in movies and thought it would be easy to conquer us." Alan, the security chief who had been quiet until now, burst out laughing. "So they watched our movies where we imagined fighting aliens and decided to become the aliens we fight in those movies." "It is pretty funny," Jack agreed. Olivia rubbed her head. "So now we have alien people declaring war because they don't understand that our movies aren't real." "It gets even better," Joe added. "They also completely missed the ends of those movies, where humans usually win and beat the aliens." Natalie looked thoughtful. "This explains why Commander Zrek looked so shocked when we showed him videos of our real military power." "The question is," Olivia said, "how do we fix this without making them feel stupid? These aliens have a lot of pride, and they won't like finding out they made such a big mistake." "We could offer them a way to back down without looking bad," suggested Jack. Maybe some kind of deal or friendship that makes them feel like they got something good without having to fight. Olivia nodded. I think we need to talk to Earth Command about this. While we wait, let's get ready to show them more of what our ships can do, just in case they need more convincing. Should we tell them their planet killer weapon won't work? Asked Alan. Not yet, Olivia replied. Let's not embarrass them too much at once. They're already going to feel silly enough when they realize they declared war because of Star Wars and Independence Day. The officers tried not to laugh, but soon the room filled with chuckles. Imagine, Jack said, wiping his eyes, if they'd seen horror movies instead. They might think we turn into werewolves every full moon. Or zombies, added Natalie. Olivia smiled but then got serious. Okay, enough jokes. This is still a dangerous situation. Let's prepare our report for Earth Command. We need to turn this misunderstanding into peace before anyone gets hurt. 3 days later, things got worse. The Criteri had attacked a human colony on a planet called Proxima. They didn't know that humans had built strong defenses around all their planets many years ago. The attack, just one alien ship that took almost a week to reach the human colony, was easily stopped. The alien weapons couldn't even damage the shields around the planet. Now the ship just floated in space, stopped but not destroyed. Earth's leaders decided to show the aliens how strong humans really were. Admiral Frank Morris was put in charge of this mission. He was on Earth's biggest warship, called the Lincoln. Are our ships ready, Greg? Frank asked his officer. Greg nodded, looking at a 3D map showing the Criteri home system. At the edge of their star system waited 5 human ships, just a tiny part of all the ships humans had, but enough for this job. Open a call to the Criteri leaders, Frank ordered. When the screen turned on, Frank saw an even fancier alien than before. This one had more decorations and bigger teeth. I am Supreme Leader Kthax of the Criteri Empire, the alien said proudly. Your weak attempt to fight back will not stop us from conquering you. Frank sighed. Supreme Leader, I am Admiral Frank Morris from Earth. I am here to show you why continuing this fight would be very bad for your people. Without waiting for an answer, Frank nodded to Greg, who pushed a button. All across the Criteri star system, small human devices, put there weeks before the aliens even declared war, turned on at the same time. Each device made a tiny hole in space, something the aliens couldn't understand. Through each hole came a small object, a targeting marker. Within seconds, every military base, weapon platform, and warship in the Criteri system had a glowing dot on it. On the Criteri homeworld, regular people looked up to see thousands of small bright lights hovering above their military bases. What you're seeing, Supreme Leader, Frank explained calmly, is a demonstration of our targeting ability. Each marker shows a place we could hit. Right now, we could destroy every military thing you have without any of our ships even coming close to your planet. Kthax's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. This is a trick, just lights in the sky. I promise you it's not, Frank replied. To prove it, he nodded again, and one of the markers above an empty training area on a Criteri moon activated. A small charge, using technology the aliens couldn't begin to understand, exploded, making a crater that could be seen from space. That small explosion, Frank continued, was only 1,000th as powerful as our regular weapons. The alien leader's mouth parts shook. Now, Frank said, his voice getting softer, I want to be very clear. Humans don't want to destroy the Criteri people. We don't want your land, your resources, or to make you our slaves. We were happy to leave you alone before you declared war on us. He leaned forward slightly. But make no mistake, if you keep going down this path, there will be consequences. The choice is yours. A week after Admiral Frank showed the Criteri what human ships could do, the aliens asked for a peace meeting. Earth's leaders decided to have the meeting on the moon, both for safety and to show the aliens even more of what humans could do. The Criteri group, led by Supreme Leader Kthax himself, came on a small ship with human ships protecting them. Their trip, which would have taken months using their own technology, took only a few hours because humans helped them. The meeting took place in a big building on the moon, built where humans first landed centuries ago. The aliens didn't understand why this place was special, but the humans felt it was important. Maria from Earth led the human team. She had worked with many alien species before and was good at finding peaceful solutions to problems. Supreme Leader, Maria began after they finished the opening ceremonies. We are happy to have this chance to solve our problems without fighting. Kithax didn't look as proud as before. The Kriteri Empire sees that human defenses are not what we expected, the alien leader said carefully. We are ready to talk about peace terms. Maria smiled kindly. Before we talk about terms, I think we should talk about the misunderstanding that caused this problem. She waved her hand, and pictures appeared in the air showing scenes from human movies, alien invasions, space battles, and end-of-the-world situations. These, she explained, are not real. They are stories. Entertainment. They never really happened. Kithax and his advisors looked at each other, confused. Our experts, the Supreme Leader said slowly, thought these were your history records. I understand the mistake, Maria said nicely. Humans create stories both for fun and to explore ideas. The things shown in these stories are often our fears, not our reality. One of the Kriteri advisors leaned forward. You make fake stories, on purpose. We call it storytelling, Maria explained. It's an important part of human culture. Commander Joe, who was there to help explain Kriteri culture, added, many species have similar traditions. It can be hard to tell the difference between history and fiction without knowing the context. Kithax seemed to be thinking hard about this. These images of your world being conquered by stronger aliens. Completely made up, Maria confirmed. In fact, humanity has won against every real threat we've met, though none were as big as the ones in our stories. The Supreme Leader's mouth parts clicked in what the humans now knew meant embarrassment. It seems, Kithax said carefully, that the Kriteri Empire may have made a mistake. Maria nodded understandingly. Misunderstandings happen even between human nations. Between different species, they're almost impossible to avoid. She leaned forward. What matters now is how we move forward. Earth has no interest in continuing this conflict. We would prefer to be friends with the Kriteri. Kithax talked quietly with his advisors before answering. The Empire has changed its mind about humans. Perhaps there are better options than war that could help both our peoples. Maria smiled. I believe there are. The peace talks went on for 3 days. As Supreme Leader Kithax and his advisors learned more about human history and what humans could really do, they changed from wanting humans to surrender to looking for ways to work together. On the final day, both groups met in the main meeting room. The mood was much better than when they first met. After thinking carefully, Kithax announced, the Kriteri Empire wants to be friends with Earth. The humans were surprised. This was more than they had hoped for. We are interested in your offer, Maria said carefully. May I ask why you changed your mind? Kithax shifted in a way that Joe had explained meant the alien was thinking deeply. The Kriteri Empire has stayed alone for hundreds of years, thinking we were better than all other species, the alien leader explained. When we found your TV and movie signals, we thought we saw a species with good technology, but weak fighting skills. He paused. Now we know we were wrong. But while studying your real history, we found something surprising. Kithax waved his hand, and one of his advisors showed pictures of human achievements. The first moon landing, faster than light travel, the peaceful end of World War II, the first human colony on another planet. Your species, Kithax continued, has done in hundreds of years what took the Kriteri thousands of years. You have spread farther, grown faster, and solved problems that have stopped our progress for generations. Maria nodded. Different species grow at different rates and face different challenges. Yes, Cathax agreed. And that's exactly why we're interested. The Creteri Empire has resources, old knowledge, and different ways of thinking that humans don't have. Humans have new technology, creative thinking, and the drive to explore that the Creteri don't have. He spread his 4 arms in a gesture that Joe had said meant the alien was being honest. Together, we could do more than either of us could alone. Maria looked at her advisors, seeing their surprised but happy faces. That's an interesting idea, Supreme Leader. But I must ask, what about your declaration of war? Kithax's mouthparts clicked softly. The Creteri suggest that the official history should show that our war was actually an elaborate first contact test, a way to test humanity's strength and abilities before offering friendship. Several human diplomats tried not to smile at this creative rewriting of history. A way to save face, Maria observed. A story that helps us both, Cathax said. Your species doesn't have to admit you were targeted because of your movies. Our species doesn't have to admit our mistake. For the first time in the talks, Maria laughed out loud. Supreme Leader, I think you would be very good at human diplomacy. One of the human advisors whispered, this is better than we hoped for. Not only peace, but a real alliance. Maria nodded. Let's work out the details. I think Earth's leaders will be very interested in this friendship. As they began discussing the specifics, Maria realized something amazing had happened. What started as a dangerous misunderstanding was turning into a chance for both species to grow stronger together. 1 year after what became officially known as the Great Test, the clever story created to explain the Creteri Declaration of War and the new friendship, people from both species gathered on Earth for the official signing of the Alliance Treaty. The ceremony took place in Geneva, with TV broadcasts showing the historic event to every human settlement across 17 star systems and to the Creteri homeworld. Supreme Leader Cathax, now familiar with human customs, shook hands with Secretary General Maria after signing the paper. This handshake, impossible for him a year ago because of his different body, was made possible by a special device designed by human and Creteri engineers, a symbol of how they were already working together. Today marks a new chapter in space history, Maria announced to all the important guests. The Earth-Creteri Alliance shows not just cooperation between our peoples, but a model for how misunderstanding can lead to understanding, and how potential war can change into lasting peace. Cathax stepped forward. For hundreds of years, the Creteri Empire stood alone, believing that being alone was strength. We have learned that true strength comes from working together. Together, our alliance will achieve greatness neither of us could imagine alone. In the audience, Admiral Frank sat beside Commander Zrek, the same Creteri officer who had once threatened Earth with destruction. Their relationship, starting with hate, had changed into careful professional respect. Did you ever think this would happen when you were preparing your planet-destroying weapon? Frank asked quietly, in a joking voice. Zrek's mouthparts clicked in what the Admiral now knew was the Creteri version of a laugh. The Star Destroyer was just a design with many problems, the alien admitted. Though I would appreciate if that stayed between us. Frank smiled. Your secret is safe. Besides, the official history now says it was all an elaborate test. Yes, Zrek agreed. History is often kinder than reality. After the ceremony, at a party in the gardens of a historic building, Captain Olivia found herself talking with both Admiral Frank and Commander Joe. When I led that first meeting, Olivia remembered, I never expected we'd end up with an alliance. The universe is full of surprises, Joe replied. Though I must say, aliens declaring war because they watched Independence Day and missed the ending has to be one of the strangest first contact stories in human history. Frank shook his head, smiling. Just imagine if they'd caught our horror movies instead of our science fiction. We might be dealing with aliens who think humans turn into werewolves every full moon. The 3 officers laughed, making nearby Kritari delegates look over curiously, still learning to understand human laughter. Across the garden, Maria and Kathax watched their peoples mixing, awkwardly but honestly trying to bridge the huge biological and cultural differences between them. Your movies, Kathax observed, often show first contact between species as either immediate friendship or inevitable war. Maria nodded. Humans tend to simplify things in our stories. Reality, the Kritari leader noted, seems more complex. And more interesting, Maria added. A year ago, your empire declared war on humanity, and humanity laughed. Today, we're allies. Kathax's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. A gesture Joe had said meant the Kritari was amused. Perhaps this should be the subject of your next movie. Maria smiled. Perhaps it should, though I'm not sure anyone would believe it. In the sky above Geneva, Kritari and human ships flew together in a show of unity, their different designs showing the differences between the two species. Yet they flew in perfect formation, a symbol of the unexpected friendship that had emerged from what had begun as a cosmic misunderstanding. The end.